Okay, hello. What's up out there, YouTube? Thank you guys for tuning in. This was not a message I had planned to talk about. I was just kind of like minding my own business, and this came up, and I was just kind of not sure when I wanted to, or if I wanted to talk about it, like I shared. But I feel this is really important because, well, it triggered me. So this is the story of Derrick Jaxn. Now, to be honest, I never really liked this guy. I mean, I just thought that he was just saying, after maybe like 5 or 6 videos, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I think he's just talking too much. Because I understand real relationships. It's not always going to be, well, he didn't treat me right, I'm gone. Like, it doesn't work like that. Anyway, I actually found out about this through somebody who says it's better not to, she doesn't believe in praying for people and gossiping at the same time. It doesn't work. But then told everybody about this person. So I'm like, why is that happening? I was like, the first thing, like, is this gossip or is this just kind of like revelation? Remember I shared with you guys there's going to be a lot of shocking things that start happening all this year, and this is kind of like the year of just like shock that this is going to continue to keep happening, and this is just like the first one that's going to be of many. And so this, like, you know, this one really hit me where it hit me where it hurt. So it's very personal. Derrick Jaxn is a relationship coach. He talks about everything, how to be the perfect black man, and the black man doesn't cheat. And a lot of people are saying, no, every black man cheats. I mean, come on, it's normal. And it's just kind of like, what are they feeding into? And is that realistic? Are people teaching the idea of monogamy? Is that like, is this a joke? Is this, you know, just a lot of things. I was just thinking out loud, like, this is interesting. So, yes, anyway, Derrick Jaxn cheated a lot over the course of 12 years while he was in a relationship with his wife. And what I mean by relationship is married. And so this has all been coming into light in the past week. Every day, something new every single day. First, oh, you know, we don't know if the allegations are true. Then next, he goes on camera. Then the next day, there's the first mistress. Then the second one. Then the third one who had children. And it's like more and more exposure. Now, this hit where it hurt because I am not just pointing fingers, okay? I have shared a lot of times in my own experience. I understand painfully what his wife was going through, and because one, I've been the child of what it's like in a home of cheating, and I had a small relationship with someone, and it was just painful. I really didn't want to believe it. You could just see all of the doubt and the disbelief and the, you know, if I hold on to this, it'll save something. And that's painful. It's like seriously a part of a past I don't want to look at. I'm not really one to like support cheating. Really, I just think it's not cool. I'm not really one to judge. I understand that things can get complicated. Sometimes you realize you married the wrong person. But that's not really my issue. My issue is that, like, I understand this healing aspect that has to come along with it. So I have to keep taking off my glasses because yeah, sometimes it doesn't, the glare is too much, so I can't really see anything. I'm just gonna keep speaking. I'm here hanging out at the beach as usual, right? But it was really hard. It was really a very painful place to see his wife. Now, this is all over the internet. I just feel like this was the relationship, situationship of the year that broke the internet. And I say that because everybody's talking about it. Everyone, you know, everybody's got their 50 cents to put in, their dollar, their 45 cents, and their 45 bucks. And even their $1,000, not even their 2 cents. Like, that's just too little, right? So everybody's talking about this. And this was one of the things that really like brought to me, like it was just like it was like a bomb inside of me. But this again, probably for good. I mean, it hurts, but a lot of times these triggers come up because there's something that needs to be released or addressed. There's something that hadn't been completely fulfilled, talked about, etc. So if this is something that has like really hit you as well, it's gonna feel painful. It's gonna feel like, dog, like this is really awful. So let me start with my own personal story, okay? Which is hard for me to tell, but it's been about 3 years, and I deserve to bring this to light. So I had a situation where I met somebody when I was traveling, and I really felt in my soul I connected. Wait a moment, please. Oh wait, okay. I really feel in my soul I connected with this person, but then I realized maybe it's just hormones. I was kept writing my first book, and what I mean by kept writing is there's a revision stage. And anytime you're writing about trauma and you just keep going back over and over again, re-editing, editing, redrafting, drafting, first draft, second draft, you're almost reliving the trauma again. So I'm just keep writing, I keep writing, and all of this pain is coming up to light. And I felt like I connected with someone, and I guess it was just kind of, and you know, this was before my new life, so I was just kind of like I felt very connected, and we were intimate, and I just really cared about him and felt that what we had was very special. And every time I would come to want to see him, he would be with somebody else, and I'm just kind of like, what don't you know what a treasure I am? What are you doing? Is this a mistake? And then he would say, oh, I'm sorry, like I don't want to do this again. And then we would talk, and he's like, we keep having this connection. So playing with my head a lot, saying I love you a lot. And I would see this in like this situation as well with Derrick. He loves his wife. This is a new chapter. He had done it before and not again. Until it was a day that I had come to print out my book, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just finished it. Guess what? Let's hang out. We can celebrate, and I can help you. Whatever, like something's wrong with your visa, let's just go both together and speak to these people, because I've had a lot of luck with every embassy, so I can come and help you. But this was the night this guy wanted to sleep with somebody else that day. And then again and again and again, and it was just kind of like I didn't want to believe it. It was just like hurting my soul so bad that here I'd opened up to someone in a very painful time of my trauma, and what I just wanted was a friend, not so much somebody who was going to continue to be an enemy or do something so bad to the point of like hurt and embarrassment. But it was almost like, why would you do this after I just explained to you, you know, how I had just seen this happen so frequently with my parents. So that was the first trigger, was the outward, like them coming together and just seeing the look on both of their faces. He just brushed it off like nothing was wrong, and she was just so embarrassed and disgusted, and you just could see she was just hurt. And that was me. Like, it got to the point where I really was very suicidal. I actually like started harming myself, and this guy didn't help. He actually left me for dead. So like, no, I feel so bad, but like, you left me for dead. And the next piece of this was in there. Oh my gosh, I'm sitting on a rock right now, y'all, and I think there's red ants. Hold on. Okay. And so the next piece of that was that this man has posted and has all kinds of other women, his other mistresses had what they call receipts, which is proof of saying, hey, this guy's been saying awful things, he hit his wife, and that was another trigger for me. I made a video about how I had experienced physical violence in my own family with my father. Sorry, my father's in heaven, my dad, my biological dad. And so this was just like it really set me off to another place, right? Because then, like, not only was I knowing that there was a lot of infidelity in my parents' marriage, but always waking up and seeing my mom's eyes puffy and knowing that if your parents, your father hits you as a child, God knows what he's doing to his own wife, right? I mean, let's be honest, maybe you weren't a child, maybe you're an adult. God knows what this man is doing to his own wife. So knowing that that was happening, it just like caused so much within me that I knew, like, wow, I had to almost rewrite these experiences. I had to rewrite what is going on right now. And so what I know right now is a lot of these things are being brought to light because the people are praying prayers of revelation, not just, you know, oh, like, show me the motives of this person, but this is a season that has been declared over all of our lives that we're moving, like, God is using bad situations to bring out the most unlikely people to come and lead. So we don't know who's going to be called. It might be celebrities, it might be different types of people, it might even be this man's wife. But, you know, the way that people are, like, kind of coming at her is kind of the way that I had felt initially too. Like, just leave this guy. I would feel like that to my mom. Why don't you just leave this guy? But as I continued learning more and more and deeper, it's kind of like, if he's hitting you and there's sexual, like, infidelity involved on both parties, why don't you just leave? And then we get into other things like soul ties and you're not able to, and like wounds and issues of abandonment and, you know, daddy issues and stuff like that. So this is why I want to share with you all. It's so important for me to talk about relationships, because while building and being in relationships now, it's still important. You know, had people in my own family resolve certain curses not to speak with certain siblings after you have several of them, curses of, like, having father issues, or like hating your mom, thinking that once you got your man you're 100%, but not actually addressing your wounds, not actually healing in the appropriate way, understanding how to talk things out and not just sweep things under the rug, understanding transparency, knowing exactly, yeah, it's okay to kind of hide for a little bit and not be in a position of hiding, but to actually come back out and share your story and not carry shame around it. These are some of the things that we don't have in some of these cultures, especially in Black culture. As some of us, you know, with melanin on our skin, we're just kind of taught to just, oh, things are great. I shared that before. In Nigerian culture, it's like, oh, things are great. And we're seeing that again. This is another issue, right? So Derrick Jaxn and his wife, they always talk about maybe they're in a cult, she's just using religion. And this is something very clear that she's been hurt. I've talked about my own experience with spirituality and going on fast, like, God, if you could just take this away, it would just help me so much. It would heal me. And I want to share with you how much power there is when you come back and tell your story. The thing is, people are not wanting to hear fairy tales. And then we got married. They like hearing the story of the underdog. They like hearing how you crawled and, like, you know, really clawed your way out from the trenches. They're not like, oh, and then I had $1 million. They want to hear how you were homeless and living in your car. They want to hear all of these stories about how you survived rape, how you survived physical violence, how you survived a lot of these things. Why do you think people love Tina Turner so much? Not just because she's amazing, but she is an overcomer. So Derrick Jaxn, thank you so much, and thank you, God, for allowing all of these revelations and these triggers to come up, because a lot of times we probably would not have been talking about a lot of this. And I just know that as things continue to start coming up in most of your lives, you're going to be able to squash these curses, these generational curses. Sometimes it's just a curse until you up and talk about it. Yo, why don't you like your mom? Why are you always feuding? What, like, can you just talk about this? Can you offer this person an apology, something? I do know that when all of these things continue to come to light and we're able to talk about it, we're able to sit down as a community, as a family, as a culture, and not just melanin people. Like, I mean, we are, there's a lot of people in my Asian background of friends that they don't do that. I mean, a lot of times it's just, you don't tell family secrets, we don't say we love you, but you understand how it is and you just keep quiet and move on. It's like this. But you guys, I want to share with you, the more and more we keep coming out, look, how many of us have cell phones? How many of us are able to upload a lot of these images and share things? It's painful, yes, but it is given in a word that, you know, you're going to receive double honor for all of the embarrassment that you've had. So just know that and hold on to that fact that even if you're like coming out and you're sharing all of your stories, no matter how embarrassing or how painful, how ugly, how humiliating you feel it's going to be, how much you feel like it's going to shame or the consequences of doing this, I want you to do it anyway. And you may get things that you don't want. I mean, a lot of times, like death threats, like financial threats. I got this a lot in my own like family, like, and so it's a lot. But the more we're able to expose a lot of things, people don't like light. Like secrets don't want a flashlight coming up there, and you know, people broadcasting. And maybe that right now, this is a season where we have to take the flashlight on a lot of these things. We have to take the flashlight and share and talk about it and say, you know what, I know it's really ugly, but you know, it's gonna be really hard to talk about. But I mean, that was honestly one of the things that I had. It's one of the most, it's a double-edged sword with me and my sister, right? We always, she asked me stuff, and if she asked me point blank, did this or this happen, I can't say no. I'm gonna be honest with her and talk about it, but it just sometimes is too much. But it's better to know the truth and be able to talk and work through it than to hear a lie. Like, you know, I felt like this was also feeding a lot into negative relationships. So my family, my mom would always say this, especially you could tell after they had been in a fight or, you know, there was substance use involved. And this is all quiet, right? But knowing. So, you know, I hope you find somebody as great as your father. And you're like, but this guy just beat me for no reason. He's yelling at my younger sister and she's shaking on the phone, and I'm scared just hearing his voice. Like, is he coming down off of something? Is, you know, there's no reason that you should talk to a 9-year-old child like that. And then the person who's 20-something on the phone shaking too, scared. Like, do I have to be on the phone to hear this? There's a reason I walked away. So I'm not painting anyone as negative or a demon or anything like this. I'm sharing my own experience and how it has shaped where I have come, how it has shaped why I feel like it's important to talk about it, how it's shaped why I approach certain relationships some ways, why we need to like share and put these in the open. Him beating his wife, the way they were holding hands was uncomfortable. You know, it was just gross, and he's still continuing to cheat. So knowing that, and just knowing like a cheater is still a cheater is a cheater, it's not that she's necessarily unattractive or attractive. Which brings me to the next point. Everybody was talking about her looks, and some people are like, this woman's beautiful, she's gorgeous. But the way, I mean, so many videos, it was just so much. Like, it was really so much. The way people were, either dogging her, dang, she just got that cap on, she wasn't trying to do anything. The way people were like dogging her out about, you know, just leave, sis. I mean, I was honestly feeling like that at the beginning, but, you know, as time continued to just progress even more, I wasn't feeling, buenas tardes, I wasn't feeling like that as much. So I was just more kind of, here's somebody who's going through hell, and she's always talking about comparison to her and the person that she's been hurt with. I mean, look at other people. Just because you have experienced what it's like to be cheated on. Halle Berry. I don't even like this chick, but her name is Beyonce. I don't go there. I mean, I never liked her. But some of the people who you're like glorifying have all been through things that you're like, well, why her? This is not really about the other person. It's more about whatever there's an inadequacy, whatever the inadequacy is in the other person that causes that. But that drives even more into insecurity and self-esteem. And when you don't have that growing up, for example, let's just, my mom didn't have her dad. He was not around. He was just kind of like more of, she visited 1-2 nights and that was it. She was just kind of like this outside child. So I could see even now in a lot of the relationships that we have, so much resentment just growing up, like, why do you hate your mom that much? How she talks to her and stuff like that. And then seeing once she got her husband, she feels like, oh, I'm good, everything's 100%. Now, it wasn't until I started watching a couple of digs on the deeper issues between Derrick Jaxn and his wife, where she talked about, hey, she had self-proclaimed daddy issues. This was an issue. So it's always feeling like you feel like you're doing better than, well, I'm better than this, so at least I got a man and money in the bank. But honey, if he's hitting you and he's addicted to drugs, he's paying for sex, he's like really engaging in prostitutes, but keeps a very like professional world. Yes, we're so educated, we do these amazing things, and the whole inside is just a mess. It's time for things to come to light. And I just know that a lot of you who are also dealing with some of these issues, it's gonna come to light, and you're gonna be so relieved that a lot of this has come up. You're gonna be so happy that a lot of this has surfaced. So this is a place and space where you will be able to talk about it, work through it, deal with it. Thank God, because if it went untreated, my God, you don't want to bring this to the next generation. This generation and this time is all about wealth, the transfer of something good, and you don't want any kryptonite messing up your superpower. Remember that video? You guys are going to ascend. You're going to go and grow through amazing heights, and you don't want that one thing that's going to knock you down because you hadn't dealt with it, or it went untreated or whatever. This is something that's important to face. It's something that's important to discuss, and it's something that's okay to work through. And you don't have to tell everybody you're going through it, but after you have, and this becomes one of your inspiring success stories, because you have many, you're going to come back out and you're going to tell everybody what happened, and you're going to use those experiences to help build your children, to help build your neighborhood, to help build your communities, to help build your ethnicities. You're going to help to empower a lot of people. This is not a place of shame. All right, I'm getting all preachy. Yes, you can. Talk about it. All right, guys, that's it. I want to share that with you. All right, I'd love to hear back from you. Let me know. Let me know your experiences. Let me know how you're working through it. Let me know what you felt about the Derrick Jaxn situation, or maybe you had suspicions about something in your relationship, or you have been a victim of that in your relationship. Domestic violence is not just your own partner. Sometimes it's your parent. So this is a safe space. I want you guys to be able to recognize that. All right, I love you guys. Take care. See you. Bye.